Dude, just imagine how sick these would look on the FD. Crazy. So I just got home from work. I have a surprise for you guys. It's actually for the 240SX. I will not be installing it today due to the car obviously not running and still needs a lot of work. So I'm not going to risk putting on the new parts on the car. By this time you should know what it is. So I'm not going to risk putting the taillights on the car while I still need a lot of work done to the car, as like to the body aspect of it. So I don't want to mess them up and scratch them all up. So for now, I'm not going to install the lights, but I am going to do the wiring, and I'm going to show you guys how to do the wiring. I do not have a soldering iron, so what I'm going to do is just use those little connectors to connect them together, maybe with some heat shrink wrap. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the wiring aspect of it for now, and then later on I'm going to show you guys the install of the lights, which is pretty easy. It's pretty simple. It's just bolts here and there. Until the car is running, then I'll put the new tail lights on. Until then, I'm going to keep them off and keep the stock ones on there. So let's get to it. Alright, excuse the mess, but I haven't had a chance to clean up. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox these and then show you guys what I got. Obviously, I already did just to make sure everything was right. So right here we have the center garnish that goes underneath the kouki lights, and you do need this piece because the lights are a little bit different on this angle right here. So if you try to use the stock one, it won't work. You need this piece for sure. As you guys can see, it is a genuine part from Nissan. It actually comes with bolts as well, so that's pretty cool. This is, I believe, is the weather stripping for that, and I am correct. Yes, we have the weather stripping that you put around the taillights. We have the new lock right here with a set of keys from Nissan, so that's pretty cool. They included that. And I believe you need this because it's extended out a little bit, and I believe the 180SX center garnish actually is a little bit extended as well, so that is why you need this. Here we have the tail lights, and they're actually a little bit dirty right now, and these are pretty sick. So we have the tail light, we have the lock, and we have the weather stripping with a couple of bolts. And the second box, again, we have the diaper material, we have the bolts, the weather stripping, and obviously the tail light. The connections are different from these and the OEM ones on the S13. So I cut these up right here and hook these up to the ones on the original tail lights. Hook them up to the ones on the original tail lights, and then hook it up to the car, I guess, if that makes any sense. It's kind of confusing at first, but I'm going to show you guys how. We have the center garnish. And this one already comes with the weather stripping here, so you don't need it. And it is brand new and it looks freaking sick. I'm going to go ahead and pull the old wiring off of the taillight, show you guys how I do that, and then come back in here and we'll go ahead and put those lights together. Alright, what we need to do first is disconnect these and take these off, and we will be cutting up the wires inside.
Send me, I know you send me, darling, you send me.
So basically why we're doing this is because we're going to need these plugs off of here to hook them up to the taillights and then connect them back onto here. So before we get started, I want to show you guys these. I actually got these at Harbor Freight, the heat shrink tubing that I will be putting on after I put these heat shrink splice connects. So I just want to use this and then use this as a backup just to not get moisture in there. So I actually bought two of these right here. So we're going to go ahead and splice up the wires, and then I'll show you guys how to connect them. So right here we have the passenger side tail light, and we have the passenger side bulbs and wiring for the OEM tail lights. So what we need to do is remove this clip, because this is what clips onto your OEM wiring inside the car for the lights. So what we want to do is take these bulbs off of here. You don't really have to take them off, you can just cut there, but it'll be better to unscrew these and then go ahead and pull this clip back, pop it back. Wait, I think this one goes, actually it goes forward, so you need to pop it forward and then take it out. Once you do that, you could go ahead and cut the wires. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do that. So just make sure. So this one has the 2 ground wires right here going to this one, going to that one, and then it has the colored ones. And this one has the same thing. So this one would be for that, and then obviously the smaller one would be for this one. And the good thing is that these are color coordinated to these right here, so we know where they're going to go. So that's not going to be a big issue. So what we need to do now is remove this and then pull these off. And we'll do one at a time so that way we don't get confused with which one we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and pull these off. And we're going to go ahead and pull this off so that way we could splice them and connect them together. So we're going to go ahead and start with this one. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start with the right side.
I know you send me, darling, you send me. I know you.
Now I am going to cut the wires. Cut the black one here. And then I am going to cut this one off. And followed by this one. I don't know why, I just like putting stuff back where it goes just in case when I sell the OEM lights, if someone would want this. So I removed this piece from the kouki tail lights off the passenger side, the right side, and we're gonna go ahead and cut them up. I would say the black one right about the center right here. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that there, and then we just go ahead and trim these right about. We're not going to use this plug, so the more wire you have, the better. So we're going to do it right about there. All right, so I believe this is a 16 gauge. So we just stripped it from here, as you guys could see that. Got that. Now we're going to go ahead and do this one, the old plug that we removed. And now what we got to do is get our connectors, get our heat shrink, and put that together. I'm only going to show you guys how to do it on one light, and then I'm going to go ahead and time lapse the rest because this will take a really long time. We're going to throw our wire on the first one, and then we are going to clamp this down. Alright, so that is clamped down, and that is not going anywhere. It's in there now. And now we just clamp it down. Alright, now the wire is clamped down, and then we got our heat shrink wrap right here. But first, since this little thing right here is heat shrinkable, we're going to heat shrink that up. And then we're going to heat shrink the heat shrink over it, if that makes any sense. So let's go ahead and do it. Alright, so we got the first one down. We still need to do the heat shrink on it with the heat gun. But for now, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and hook the rest of these up. And the rest of this should be pretty straightforward. There's a white and green, yellow and green, and there's a solid green one. So the solid green goes to solid green, and the rest, you just match them up. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick.
Send me, darling, you send me, darling, you send me. I know you do. Send me.
And the rest is pretty self-explanatory. It's just doing the same thing throughout the whole thing. Just make sure you have the right section. Like this one says the left-hand side. So you would take the smaller one from the left-hand side and then just cut it up and do the same process as I did here. Just match up the colors and you'll be fine. I'm going to go ahead and do that to the rest of them and do a time lapse so I won't take too much of your guys' time. So this is what it's supposed to look like once, come on focus, once it has heated up and shrunk down. I did this with the lighter, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do this one as well just to show you guys how it's supposed to work if you do not know how. So we just heat it up, keep moving the lighter, just get a good amount of heat on there, flip it around, do the same thing. And that right there is a little bit of assurance just to be a little bit safer on the electrical end. So after you've connected your wires together, this is what it should look like. I mean, you don't have to get these, but I mean, it'll be a little bit better if you did. But yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like. And then here is the OEM clip right here. I mean, we could even put it here in the original spot if we wanted to, which we might do. Just set it up right there like that and then just hook it up once it's inside the car. All right, so after an hour's worth of work, the taillights are now done. OEM clips from the OEM taillights actually fit on these, so that's a plus right there. And yeah, this is a left hand tail light, that's a right hand tail light, and this is the center garnish right here. As you can see, these are all wired up and ready to go. So now I just got to plug them in, but I'm not going to do that until the car is actually running a few weeks from now. And I hope you guys learned a little bit off of this. I'm really happy and can't wait till I get these tail lights on the car. Oh my goodness, imagine these were on the FD. Hey, no, can't do that. Dude, just imagine how sick these would look on the FD. Crazy. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys liked it and learned a little bit off of it. I mean, I'm not a professional, as you guys could see. I didn't solder them together. I didn't have the soldering gun, so that's why I did not do that. I just did it the old school way. So with that being said, I really hope it helped you guys out just a little bit even, and hopefully it gets you guys to do stuff like this. It's pretty simple. This stuff right here is really simple compared to all the complex stuff there is, which I do not know how to do either. As far as wiring, that I know how to do is just like simple stuff like this and then stereos, but besides that, I don't even want to get into that. So with that being said, I'm gonna call it a day. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Once again, Ed Range, keep on rotating. Peace.